Why UFC fighters hate The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. The Rock says he has a very good reason why he'd never have competed in the UFC after leaving WWE. The 49-year-old, whose real name is Dwayne Johnson, is one of the most successful people to have worked for the pro wrestling firm WWE, having left the business to become a Hollywood movie star. Standing 6 feet and 5 inches tall and weighing 260 pounds, The Rock would have been a heavyweight had he ever attempted mixed martial arts. But speaking on ABC this week, the actor said, "I would have gotten my face smashed in, and I like my jaw where it's at." Want to know about it in detail? Well, stay tuned till the end. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will talk about why UFC fighters hate The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Meanwhile, subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. That being done, let's start. In a separate tweet, The Rock elaborated on the notion of him crossing over from sports entertainment to combat sports. He said he considered his options when MMA was still in its infancy. There was a point in 1997 where I considered going to Japan to train to begin an MMA career, when my wrestling career was failing miserably. The Rock added that he realized quickly, "I actually hate being punched in the kisser." Other WWE superstars did make the transition from pro wrestling to the octagon, albeit with contrasting results. Brock Lesnar, an 11-time world heavyweight champion in wrestling, became heavyweight champion in the UFC in his fourth fight when he knocked Randy Couture out at UFC 91 in 2008. CM Punk, a modern-day WWE icon, also left the pro wrestling company to compete in the UFC, but lost on his debut to Mickey Gall. He then returned a no contest in his second, and currently last, fight with the firm. Nate Diaz wants to settle his beef with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the ring, calling him out to a fight. The underlying issues with Diaz and The Rock stem from a few years back. It all started when the Hollywood megastar appeared to support Jorge Masvidal during his bout with Nate Diaz for the BMF title, a move which didn't go down well with Diaz. Then there was Diaz's recent comments about The Rock's sneaker sponsorship with the UFC, saying the shoes fucking suck. Well, now the MMA icon, fresh off the back of his final fight on his UFC contract, has ignited their feud once again, throwing down the gauntlet to the former WWE superstar. "I'm only going to fight The Rock," Diaz tweeted. "Otherwise, I'm good." It's not the first time Diaz has gone after The Rock. Back in 2019, after Johnson wrapped the BMF belt round Jorge Masvidal's waist, Diaz took aim at him during the post-fight press conference. "Fuck The Rock too, man. That motherfucker over here playing me," Diaz told the media. "See him over there smiling with Masvidal. Should have had Mike Tyson handing out a belt if anybody. I don't give a fuck about no belt anyway, but he can get it too. He's on that side. Fuck him. I'm on the West Coast side. Mike Tyson should have been here anyway. He's the baddest man on the planet, right? He should have been the one. You guys caught me at a bad time. The Rock's cool. I like ballers, but he picked the wrong side, so he can get his ass whooped too. With all due respect, he can get it too." At the time, The Rock responded saying, "I wasn't surprised at Nate's comments because that's the Nate we all know and love. He is as advertised. He gets it. He knows that me and Jorge are boys. We're from Miami. We have a lot of deep connections down there. A lot of the fighters we know. A lot of the coaches and trainers down there. A lot of the gyms we've been to. There's a connection, so I was totally fine with it. He gets it." Johnson hasn't replied to Diaz's recent call-out though. The Rock's comments regarding MMA follow a week in which he announced partnership with the market-leading company in the sport. The multi-year agreement is called Project Rock and regards a global footwear deal that sees UFC athletes and their corner teams outfitted in Project Rock apparel. UFC athletes are amongst the greatest, toughest, focused, most disciplined, and hardest training athletes on the planet, he said recently, in a statement sent to Insider. "Every walk to the iconic octagon by a UFC fighter is fueled with passion, mana, and the deep desire to establish their dominance and legacy. I am proud, grateful, and humbled that my innovative Project Rock training shoe is now the official global footwear partner of UFC. Hey brother at The Rock, if you're a fan of what we do, make the deal favorable for the ones modeling your shoe," UFC lightweight Terrence McKinney tweeted. "I get it's not your fault or your business doing it to us, but show us the love you think you are. Get in our corner and support us." In his announcement, The Rock said the partnership is anchored in hard work and legacy. Rather ironic, seeing as though the fighters, the ones who make the walk in the bright red shoes, aren't being paid for it. But it seems McKinney isn't the only mixed martial artist who isn't a fan of the shoes themselves. Ahead of his final fight with the promotion at UFC 279, MMA royalty Nate Diaz had a dig at them. "These shoes fucking suck," Diaz says before taking the shoe off and gesturing to throw it away. Look at these shoes. They made me put this shit on. Fuck these shoes. Funnily enough, it's not the only time Diaz has had a pop at The Rock. Following his loss to Jorge Masvidal in their baddest motherfucker title bout at UFC 244, Diaz teed off on Johnson, who was on hand to hand the belt over to the victor. Fuck The Rock too, man. That motherfucker over here playing me, Diaz said in his press conference. Seeing him over there smiling with Masvidal, should have had Mike Tyson handing out a belt if anybody. I don't give a fuck about no belt anyway, but he can get it too. He's on that side. Fuck him. I'm on the West Coast side. Mike Tyson should have been here anyway. He's the baddest man on the planet, right? He should have been the one. You guys caught me at a bad time. The Rock's cool. I like ballers. But he picked the wrong side, so he can get his ass whooped too. With all due respect, he can get it too. While UFC 276 was a great night for Israel Adesanya as he defended his middleweight crown against Jared Cannonier, the 185-pound champion also received a lot of criticism for his performance. While fans labeled his outing in the octagon to be boring, Adesanya found a fan and reinforcement in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Johnson seemed to enjoy the UFC 276 card thoroughly. Not only did he appreciate the contest between Adesanya and Cannonier, but The Rock also sang praises of the fight between Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. In the trilogy between Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway, Volkanovski came out victorious. The current 145-pound champion put up a masterful performance to retain his championship. On Twitter, Dwayne Johnson spoke out about the fight and mentioned how both fighters would land up in the Hall of Fame. Johnson said, "Wow, phenomenal to watch. Two future Hall of Famers, tough as fuck legacies. #UFC 276. While Holloway showed immense toughness, Blessed simply couldn't keep up to the pace of Volkanovski. The Australian fighter eventually left Holloway in a pool of blood. Apart from this fight, other fights on the main card at UFC 276 were worth watching too. The main card of UFC 276 had some star-studded fights. The card kicked off with Sean O'Malley taking on Pedro Munhoz. While fans waited with excitement to watch the fight, their excitement was short-lived because of an accidental eye poke by O'Malley. As Munhoz couldn't continue, the bout was declared a no contest. In the next fight, fans saw 170-pound UFC veteran Robbie Lawler compete against Brian Barberena. This fight lived up to the expectations of the fans, as both fighters gave it their all and traded hard. Eventually, Barberena came out the victor as he stopped the Ruthless in round 2. Further, in the third fight of the main card, rising UFC middleweight Alex Pereira took on Sean Strickland. The fight did not last long as Pereira knocked out Strickland in 2 minutes 36 seconds of round 1. Pato won the Performance of the Night bonus for this victory. The next two bouts composed of both Israel Adesanya and Alexander Volkanovski, successfully defending their belts. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments down below. And that's all for the day, guys. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update from us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the next one. Until then, peace.